Hi, this is Russ Ballard, and you're listening to the Voices of Russ Ballard podcast.
Well, hi, everybody. Once again, welcome to the Voices of Russ Ballard with myself, Ian.
And again and again and again and again with me, Sven.
It's sounding like a Status Quo single there, Sven. I didn't realize you were a fan.
Or it sounds like something Russ Ballard used back in the days. Remember, again and again and again.
And again and again. Thunder and lightning. Sorry.
Yeah, roughly
yes.
1 year ago, we heard this story from the master himself, from Russell. He told us how he uses this again and again. But the good thing is now we're back again with the third episode of our really cool conversation with Leo, Mr. Wonderful Sayer.
And dear listener. Absolutely. And dear listener, not only have we had part one and part two, which has been Leo solo, because there's so much to cover, and we really hope you enjoyed those episodes as much as we did. The feedback's been just amazing. But a real bonus, this is part three, and this isn't just Leo, it's Leo and the man himself, Russ Ballard.
Well, yeah, we just need to clarify this. Dear listeners, so this is the Voices of Russ Ballard podcast with Ian Street and Sven Kramer. No, just kidding. So this is an episode where Leo and Russell do have a great conversation. It's like listening to a phone call the both had, excluding Ian and Sven. We had nearly no chance to get to find a spot to get between and ask some questions. These two are real talkaholics, but in a positive way, in a really positive way. Yeah,
very much so. And actually, we didn't want to. We didn't interrupt the conversation between a couple of mates who hadn't spoken a while. So just to picture the scene, just so dear listeners, so you've got an idea of what happened. We spoke to Leo first, and then we got Russ on the line to come and join it. And that was something Leo was really looking forward to do, as you'll find out in a moment. So this is the moment where Russ Ballard joined us, and Sven and I tried to do a mini intro, but then the guys took over, and I know you're going to enjoy it. It's a fantastic listen. So without further ado,
give it a go.
Have a listen.
Hi, I'm Leo Sayer, and you're listening to the Voices of Russ Ballard podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, Leo Sayer and Russ Ballard.
Yes!
Hey.
How are you, my boy?
I'm fantastic, Russ. It's so good to talk to you again. Do you remember when I was doing a compilation series of albums, and I came to interview you all about 1975's Another Year, which you produced beautifully for me with of course the late Adam Faith alongside, and we kind of dug into that album, didn't we? And kind of and talked about the atmosphere around it, how it came together, all the wonderful parts that you played on it, and your direction of that record, and I don't think we've talked since, actually.
Do you know? Yeah, the only time we talked is when you came here, going back.
Oh, that's right. I did come to visit. Yeah, the house.
You
absolutely.
Didn't you? Do you remember? And in your BMW, actually, you had a BMW.
I did. Yeah, at the time. Yeah, that's right.
Expensive one, and I thought to myself, why haven't I got one of those?
It was a bit of a trick car, because underneath it had a bigger engine and all that sort of stuff, Yeah, it was a bit of a sports car. It got me to lose my license many times.
But that was.
But didn't you have a Ferrari Dino at one time?
I had Ferrari Dino when I was.
I remember that, man.
With you,
246.
because it was down in the
exactly.
It was a prototypo. Yeah, and it
was a beautiful, beautiful car. I remember silver, if I remember rightly.
Silver, and at Kingsway Studios, you parked underneath, didn't you? Underneath.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So, and that was a hot summer, wasn't it? That was really hot. I remember when.
That was a ridiculous summer. It was a record-breaking summer. I remember, but it's such an amazing album to do because we shut the world off, didn't we?
It was quick, wasn't it?
Yeah, all because Adam wouldn't pay any bloody money. I mean, it's the usual thing. I mean, he sent me off. We were talking about earlier on the lovely Chris Andrews, who's a mutual friend of both of us.
Yeah.
Chris lent me his apartment in Havana in Spain. I was working with a guy called Frank Farrell, who's sadly not with us any longer. Frank was my bass player, but also a wonderful pianist and great songwriter. And David Courtney had fled the nest because Adam had decided that we shouldn't work together on some Machiavellian project of Adam's, as he usually did, as we used to call him.
Yeah.
Terry Nellam's right.
Yeah.
And R.I.P. and we miss him a lot.
Yeah, but, we do miss him.
We miss him because he was a hell of a character. But, working around him was always a challenge, as you know, from many, many years of working with him. You kind of had to kind of find a way of getting the best out of him, and yet, kind of not believing everything that he promised. So that was the angle. But this guy could open. I mean, my God, he could get you in the front door of Buckingham Palace straight to the Queen. He had the clout that nobody would believe. I mean, he opened doors. But we were doing that album, and Adam just decided he was already into, I think, the idea that no, I should go to America and make an album there. This is silly.
Yeah.
So I think he was already over the concept of Leo being a British artist. I mean, and so I went to Havana, near Alicante, Chris's house. Yeah. We had Chris's piano, which I'd bought off him. And I think Justin Hayward lent me the trailer to take the piano over there. And Justin of the Moody Blues. And we went there, me and Frank, and an entourage of people that we had with us on the road, hanging out with us as well, making sure we were fed and looked after. And Frank and I came up with, about 15 songs in 1 week. And Adam was kind of, when you finished, every day he'd call me and say, "Are you finished yet? Are you finished yet?" I said, "We're writing songs. It's not the work of a moment." He said, no, but we need to get in the studio. Said, "You're late." I said, "I'm not late." He said, no, you're late because on my itinerary, you should have only had a couple of days there. And he was phoning Chris to say, like, throw him out the house. Just go there and throw him out the house. You wouldn't believe the stuff that was going on. He had a plan.
Yeah.
So when we actually got to the studio, I think he allowed us 12 days or something like that.
We finished, the whole thing.
From start to mixing.
Yeah. I tell you, you probably don't even know this. I was making an album at the same time myself.
Oh my God, really?
So I was working with Muff Winwood. Muff was producing mine. And I was at Basing Street at Ireland, and Muff was doing it. And
dodging over between the two studios.
I was doing the two. I don't know how I did it, but I said, telephoned me and said, we're doing Leo. I'm doing Leo. He said, "Will you do it with me?" And I said, "I can't tell." I said, I'm doing my own album at the moment. He said, "Well, what time are you starting? What time do you start then?" I said, "We start at 11 at Basing Street in London." Yeah. And he said, "What time do you finish?" I said, "Well, we finish, could be any time, can't it? So it can go from 11, can't it?" He said, "Well, if you finish earlier, we can't start at Kingsway until 7. That's
right. You had evenings booked.
The evenings when everyone was out of the building,
Yeah, because Ian Gillan from Deep Purple was using it during the day. Yeah,
he was using it during the day. So I said, he said, "So you could get here at 7. I said, "Yeah, what time are we going to finish?" He said, "Well, we don't know, 11, 12. And I had to drive home, which is an hour. So I get in at 1.
It was.
I did that for 2 weeks. every day for 2 weeks, starting at
But
11.
you gave so much to that album. I mean, playing your piano as well on
I played
Sidderland, which we do live on stage now.
I'm thinking of taking the easy way out. I'll open the window and fall to the ground. I could do it, wouldn't be much to it. I got a little place here in the city. It's kind of small and dirty, it's a bed sitter. There's a lot of us living here, wall to wall in one big house. And when the night comes down, I can see a lot of lonely lights. But there are people in there breathing, but it don't seem right. In the streets way down below me, I'm listening for just one sound, but nobody comes around. And that's and there's a man down below me on the balcony, crying to be heard, screaming to be heard. I'm haunted by his words, and the people in the street, they shrug their shoulders, saying he's disturbed. He's in another world, screaming at the birds, crying to be heard. I hear his every word. I've slept in the gutter on a summer's day. Oh, I bum cigarettes in the night cafes. Oh, I've joined the bread line. I believe I've got a deadline. I got a little place here in the city. Oh, it's kind of small and dirty, it's a bed city. There's a lot of us living here, wall to wall in one big house. And when the night comes down, I can see so many lonely lights. There are people outside breathing, but it don't feel right. In the streets way down below me, I'm listening for just one sound, but nobody comes around. Well, the lights are going down, nobody comes around. And that's it
We'll do that.
You know, amazing.
Lee, they are fantastic tunes. I always loved them. I love those and the lyrics and stuff.
It was clever stuff. Only Dreaming, and you know, there were some very clever songs.
Last gig of Johnny Be Good.
Yeah. He pleads with his manager.
He pleads with his manager. There seems no way out. Have one last cigarette. No time to put it out.
Yeah. You know, I thought those songs were great, and I said to him, I can't do it because, you know, he said, well, it's got to be finished in 2 weeks.
That's right.
You can't finish an album in 2 weeks. He said, yeah, all the songs are done, all the songs are written. So when I got there, I listened to the songs. I thought, these are brilliant tunes, you know. But and it happened really well because we were doing 2 songs, 2 backing tracks in one night.
We did 2 a day. Yeah,
2 a day,
a night.
2 an evening. two, and then we did the vocal.
Minimal overdubs.
Two, yeah, minimal, very minimal, and very, very quick. Mike Giles was playing drums. Dave,
Paul Keogh on guitar. Dave Marquis on bass.
Marquis, he was playing bass. Dave Marquis,
yeah.
And I did piano. I did guitar.
You did piano. Frank did some piano, and you did some. Yeah,
I did marimba.
It's between.
Marimba.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
He sees her at the same time every night at the Mexican discotheque. She gives him French kisses. He gives her French cigarettes. They sit at the same table every time. The lights are low, but their eyes shine. Just digging the music from those sweet soul bands. She keeps him out of fights, holds on to his hand. He whispers slowly, tonight's the night. Months of planning, so it's gotta be right. Under the table, her bag is bursting at the seams. She made sure to bring everything. Moonlighting, they're leaving everything. Moonlighting, they're losing all their friends. Moonlighting, it's the only way. It's frightening, but it means they'll stay together. They're gonna make it together.
So I love those tunes. And what was the one that the kids, Streets of Our Town, the kids sang on?
Streets of a Town. Yeah, have you seen the old man?
Yeah.
Sleep on the roads.
Yeah.
Salvation halls in the streets of your town.
And
I love those songs. They're still close to me.
So good. They're great tunes. They're still great tunes. I love them.
Yeah.
And
a song called "I Will Not Stop Fighting for You," which was just. I mean, I can't believe I wrote that myself. With me and Frank, of course. But it was a song written to my ex-wife Janice, who, if you remember, was incredibly shy and
Jan,
very retiring. And
I know.
She didn't want to be anything to do with fame or anything like that. So this was the song when she used to get depressed and very suicidal. This was the song that was written for her to kind of try and give her confidence.
Yeah.
Oh, and I can see the sadness in your eyes. Well, you shouldn't ever have to cry. Oh, I will put you back on your feet again if you'll let me try. Oh, I will not stop fighting for you until the day I die. Oh, they know how to shatter your dreams, but this time they've really gone to extremes. They just don't give a damn about you and me, baby. But we will not stop dreaming until they set us free. Oh, well, a change of heart leads to a change of time. We shouldn't be here wishing for a change of mind. I remember when we were just starting out. Your world was lonely, needed mine. So I will not stop fighting for you until I run out of time. Dun 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 dun. Oh, but I want to stay this close to you. And I don't want it to stop, no, until you feel happy too. No one else will understand what we're going through. But I will not stop fighting till you stop fighting too. Well, a change of heart leads to a change of mind. We shouldn't be here wishing for a change of time. Starting out, your world was lonely, needed mine. So I will not stop fighting for you until I run out of time. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, I remember, Jan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Louis Austin was the engineer, wasn't he? Louis
Austin. Lou was the engineer. Sometimes we had
quite a character.
Vicky Brown did backing vocals. Vicky Brown.
That's right.
I think one of Sue and Sonny, I think at one time did
That's right. We had Sue and Sonny on there because they did Let It Be with me, which you also did as a single. I think you played on that.
Yeah. I thought that was
and that's a classic. That gets replayed all the time. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah. And you still sound great, Lee. Still sound good, mate.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm still. I've been told on this tour that I'm singing better than ever. They're telling me I'm singing better than the records.
You know, I
can't believe that.
I think if you keep it's the old use it or lose it syndrome, isn't it? If you keep doing something,
keep it exercised.
Keep exercising. I think, especially singing, especially the singing one, that muscle, you know. And I know that Ian's mum went to see you, didn't she, recently? Did you know that?
She said that. Yes. Ian said that. Yeah.
Happy days.
And look, you the same. I mean, we're both still working. We're both still treading the boards and playing better than ever. I hear you are. So I saw a video just recently. Fantastic.
Actually, yeah. I mean, the people, Munich and Augsburg and Nuremberg, Bensheimer, they were fantastic. You know, it was like somebody said, but what was it like then? I said, I'm not particularly religious, but it was spiritual, if you know what I mean. It's more spiritual.
Yes, no, absolutely.
That thing, between the audience and yourself.
Totally.
It goes out there, comes back to you, goes out there, comes back to you. It's magic, isn't it? It's magic.
And it's the songs as well, because the songs have this kind of life of their own. Yeah. And they re-involve you in them. They take you back to that moment when you wrote them. Yeah. They take you back to that moment, and it's almost as if you get to play with them, and in a way you get to perform them even better, because all songs grow, they all develop, and that's a lovely thing as well. So nothing is kind of static, it just moves on all the time.
Slices and dices,
it's the people, it's just the people the people were screaming for the songs, First night Russ, first night in Munich, I was just, don't know, 10 meters away from somebody who was screaming for the songs. So there was just 2 seconds of silence on stage. So the guys were preparing each other. And then this guy was screaming, "Oh, I can hear you no more."
Yeah.
Russ
we're yelling out.
started the song, "I Can Hear You No More." And
I hear you were
beloved.
Russ, I hit the guys were saying you actually answered the call a couple of times when people would shout out a song and you'd say, "Oh yeah, okay," and you just with the guitar just play the damn thing
a cappella
without the band, you know.
Yeah, without the band, because we'd never rehearsed it, never rehearsed this song, and they were every night after that. They were calling for that song. I tell you what, I'll start here, but you help me out with it, and they all sang it. It was brilliant, you know. It was brilliant.
I can understand it. I had a very funny experience at a gig in Bangkok once, and I'd recorded a song. Actually, the boys were talking about it early on. Recorded a song called "Easy to Love." It's easy to love, and it was a big hit in America. You know, it was in the top 10 or something like that. And somebody in the audience, we went to do this gig, and they're very stiff. They don't clap. You know, you finish the song, and usually, you know, when you finish a song on stage with the band, it's all like, right, time to get a drink, you know, and everything, because everybody's clapping. It's all cool. You don't have to worry about it, you know. Got time to zip up the trousers and turn around, you know. But no, nothing, absolutely nothing. Deathly fucking silence.
Yeah.
And then the moment that you say, and now we're going to, all of a sudden, you know, completely impromptu clapping, unpredictable clapping. So there's this silence after, and they said, a guy stands up in the audience and said, "I think it would be a very good idea, Mr. Sayer, if you were to play to the audience your hit song, Easy to Love." And all the audience turned around and go, "Yes." You know, they all agree with him. Now, the band didn't know it. We'd never played it. You know, it wasn't on the other. So I said, "Okay, look, tell you what, if you give me 5 minutes, I'll teach the band how to play the song." So I started singing it, and sort of guitar goes, dog, 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 dog. The guitar started playing, you know, right? The drums go, poof, that, poof, you know. And you took them round. I just verbally showed them all the song,
all the parts,
every part, you know, all the parts, and the audience just going, "Oh, this is very interesting." You know, they're just watching everything. So we had a whole bloody 4-5 minutes going through the song, and eventually I said, "I think we're ready," and we played the song.
It's
standing fucking ovation. I mean, nothing before that, and all of a sudden, everything.
I think it's good to go out your comfort zone. You suddenly, you know, if you do it
is, isn't it?
Yeah. If you do it sort of truthfully and like from the heart and all that, you do it. You just do it naturally and just do it.
Absolutely.
It can be brilliant. I think, but
I think that you and I come from that time as musicians where we were always being tested, and we were always kind of out of our comfort zone. We were always kind of, you know, you'd walk into a session and you didn't know the song or something like that, and everybody just challenged you to do it, and you always, you know, had to raise your game to survive.
No, exactly.
Because we didn't write everything down in charts. You know, we spoke it verbally or played it to each other. You know.
Yeah.
Russ, we were talking earlier on, I mentioned something that came out in the first part when we were talking to Leo. Is some similarities, some synergies between the two of you that Sven and I have kind of noticed. And one of them, so here's a sort of a quirky one, which is both of you around the same time had a song covered by Three Dog Night, which was a hit for them, right?
Yeah.
There's a similar
Liar,
and
Show Must Go On.
Show Must Go On.
Yeah,
there was that, and both. But the big thing for us was that you were both you're both still continuing to develop. You're not standing still, resting on laurels, playing the hits. You're basically still moving forward and wanting to create new music. And that's pretty unique in a lot of ways for someone as established as both of you.
I'm more like that now than I was when I was 30.
Yeah,
I'm more. I love it. I don't love it. I always loved it, but as you get older, there's less time to sort of do what you love. You know what I mean? And so I've got a guy coming here at midday. I've got David Young coming here at midday. Ian.
Oh yeah.
And he's got something. We worked on a thing the other day, came round, and he's coming again today, basically to put overdubs on the thing we've already started. But I mean, I just love it so much. And the hardest thing, I don't know about you, Lee, I love lyrics, and I mean, I always start songs from either a title or a lyric. I know you're a lyricist. I know you love that. I start from that, and I think the hard thing is, as I said to my friend yesterday who was here, and I said, who wrote the lyric? You like this one. I said to my friend, who wrote the lyrics for Leo Sayer songs? And he said, Leo did. And I said, right, so you didn't write any lyrics? He said, you see your brain going around.
Oh, yeah.
It's Dave Courtney. He was here.
He never wrote the lyrics. No, he wrote the music.
No, he said Leo wrote the. I said because he was playing me some.
Well, at that time, that was the split that we had because he was always the music and I was the lyrics.
That's what I thought.
The funny.
I thought that.
No, that's what it was. Absolutely.
He said that though. He said you wrote the lyrics. He said you did.
And he wrote the music. Yeah,
but he's good at lyrics. He sent me some. He gave me some songs yesterday.
Oh, he does have some ideas, Dave. Yeah, totally.
I said, it's just the chorus. I think the choruses. There's few choruses, but that could be worked on. And he said, I agree with you. But the lyrics were really good on his stuff. Yeah, but I know I love your lyrics, and I don't know how you.
But I think that. Yeah, I think that somehow David and I rubbed off on each other really well because when it came to another year, most of the melodic ideas were mine, and I just dictated them to Frank.
Now another year with Frank's, that's what I thought. I gathered that.
And I mean, because I'd sat on those songs, I mean, a lot of them like Streets of Town, I Will Not Stop Fighting For You. I'd written the lyric, and I was waiting for David to come in to do the music with me, right? Yeah. And then Adam, of course, he's playing fun and games, so no, he doesn't want to write with you any longer, which was totally wrong, because David has said since, I was ready. But Adam decided that he wanted to push us both in a different direction. Yeah. So I started, I'm looking at these lyrics every day and going, I can hear how that goes. So I'd start, with a little tape recorder or a dictaphone. I'd start singing the words in. So basically they became melodies. Have you seen the old man? Yeah, I knew how I wanted the phrasing to go.
That's what I think lyrics do, yeah.
Yeah. And then when I got together with Frank, he said, so how do you see this? And I'd sing a line, he'd go, okay, yeah, right. And then if we got to a log jam where we were getting to a chorus and needed, he'd say, what about this? Yeah. And the lovely thing was Frank was the bass player, of course, of Supertramp when the band started.
Yes,
and
I remember.
He became, and Frank's idolized John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Yeah. So he really wrote and played in a Beatle kind of way whenever he picked up an acoustic guitar or a piano. So that was, so it was like adding the Beatles to what I did when I worked with Frank, which was lovely,
Talking about songwriting, do the two of you regret not writing together?
We must do this.
I mean,
can you imagine?
Did you wrote a song together?
Maybe you did, and we don't know.
No, we never did. But
we never.
But it's
did.
something
we almost did. We
talked about it, didn't
we?
Well, we talked. Yeah, we talked about it here, but we talked about it. If you remember, Tel said to me, he said, "Well, I was going to the States." July, was it June or July 76?
Yeah, that's right. And I was already over there.
And you were there, and Tel said to me, "We'll get in touch with Leo, right with Leo." But I was playing 5 nights at the bottom, not the Bottom Line, I was doing the Roxy.
The Roxy, yeah. I remember Argent were doing it, yeah.
I was very, very tired because I'd been working like for a week or so.
Yeah, no, I remember you were on the road. And
I was on the road
constantly.
and you were settled in. You were settled in with Richard Perry, weren't you? You were
I was already...
I was initially, I was ready to do it, to be honest. I was going to do it. I wanted to write with you, but I've always found it hard to write on the road, to be honest. I like to get home and then write.
Yeah, and do it at home.
You pick up ideas when you're on the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
I flow with ideas when I get. If I have to go on holiday for 3 days and I come back flying with ideas.
Yeah, full of them. Yeah,
you can't stay in that one situation and find new adventures. You know what I mean? You have to sort of like get out.
Well, not only that. Yeah, the job of being a performer is a completely different hat.
Oh, it's a different hat.
You know, when you're standing there and finding that confidence to do it all. You know, maybe if there's like 3 or 4 days off in the middle of a tour, then you can settle back into a different mentality.
Well, I've never done that.
Yeah, exactly. You just be, I know, they never gave you a fucking chance. It's all bang, bang, bang. I know, that's how it was. But no,
so maybe it'll happen, guys. Can it happen?
Well, I'm over next year, and sometime in August or so, I'm coming over to do like about 2 or 3 gigs, and then I'm off to the States because we're now. I'm starting a big American operation. I'm going to go back there. It's been years, but it looks like we've got an agent there and a load of gigs coming up, and we're going to do about 3 visits next year. It's about time. It's been years.
Yeah, but I mean, if you like. It would be fun to get together and see, you know, what happened.
Yeah. I mean, I wrote with Albert Hammond. And that was very much a kind of unpredictable situation because, you know, we would get together. I mean, look, I'll say it here publicly. Albert's ego is something that you have to get over because he's got a huge ego, huge ego. Yeah. So basically, you've got to kind of say all the right things. Albert, you're a genius. I mean, my God, I'm so lucky, you know, and all this sort of, you know, BS. But we would get together and we just talk and laugh and sing together, both sing in the same key as well. So there was a thing you can listen to our tapes and you can't tell the difference of who's singing what.
Really?
You know, it's one of those. Yeah, got so close. But we'd always end up writing a great song in the last. I'd say, right, I've got to go now. And he said, oh, well, yeah, but how about this? And it'd always be in that last 5 minutes we'd come up with something. When I was supposed to be out the door. You know, a peculiar situation, but we had the lovely thing about writing with Albert and he writing with me, we never held any expectancies of what we could create. No. But we have written 47 songs together. And over the last 3 albums or 4 albums, most of which I produced myself and all played myself and everything, I've been including those songs from that backlog, you know, because they are so great.
Yeah.
You know, there's still loads to recover, you know. I've been going over one today, actually, and just went to the piano and started to shape out some of the chords of it because we never put it down. We just kind of talked about it. And so, you know, there's so much to do still.
Yeah.
I'm now in this.
You know, he came here.
Sorry?
Albert came here. And we sort of mapped around. But, you know how it is, you know, he's been around for a long time. I've been around for a long time.
Yeah,
exactly. Sit at the piano, and he's standing there, and we're doing stuff, and then we start to talk. He said, "I remember this," and then I go, "Well, I remember that," and in the end, you know what I mean? You don't get anything done, you know.
No, that's what I think. That's what I was meaning. You know, we just talk about people we know, experiences we've had, the past. Yeah, you know, where almost. Yeah, there's two egos or 2 experiences throwing against each other. And then suddenly, right at the end, sit down and rewrite a tune. Yeah. It's just amazing like that. I wrote a song with him, Restless Years, which I'm really proud of. And it's kind of ride the train that's going nowhere, easy going like you don't care. Find a station, get off somewhere in your restless years. Hold on while your dreams are fading. Can't see all that you're creating. Rainbows that you can't stop chasing in your restless years. And it's all about and we wrote it together. The lyrics are his as well as mine. And he ended up putting it on a solo album, which he made in Germany, and called it Restless Years. And I ended up putting it on my next album, which I called Restless Years.
Train that's headed nowhere, easy going like you don't care. Find a station, get off somewhere in your restless years. Hold on when your dreams are fading, can't see all that you're creating. Rainbows that you can't stop chasing through your restless years. You focus on the stars, you hold a tarot card, the king of fools. So pick the lock and find the stairway, send your dreams across the airways. Your confusion's temporary in your restless years. On your heart, you keep yourself apart, too much to lose. Just don't compare yourself with anybody else in what you're going through. Hold up your head like you're winning, though it seems you're just beginning. Little stones that you've been skimming through your restless years. Yeah, through your restless years. Through your restless years.
We have a question for each of you, which is
sure.
Which is a first impressions question, effectively.
Oh, that's super cool question. Yeah.
So we're going to ask Leo first, and when this guy Russ Ballard walked into the studio on Silverbird, if I'm not mistaken, because
yes, correct,
another year was co-produced with Russ being on board, but he did play on the first album. What was your impression when he picked up the guitar or he walked over to the piano? What was your first impression when he started to play?
Well, two things. I mean, I knew of Russ, of course. He was a well-known player and, of course, a well-known artist. Argent was a band and all of that with Bob, and Rod, and Adam I was in a funny situation because I brought a band called Patches with me to make the record at Virgin Studios and at the Manor. And Adam managed to kind of fire all the band. He'd do that lovely thing that he did in the movie, fancy a drink, and he'd put his arm around them and take them off, he actually said, well, one guy hung on, you'll remember him, Max Chetwin, the guitarist, who was still there with us, who was a lovely guy, and a dear friend of mine, and Max and I, to be fair, had written all the songs of Patches, so but he ended up kind of firing Max, because he said to Max, Max, what would you choose? He said, a colour television set or Carrying On with Leo? And Max said, I'd really like a colour television set. So he said, right, you're out. And that's,
still.
so, I mean, he had all this classic. Well, that was Adam for you. Fancy a drink.
I know.
He's going to cut off and have a chat with you. And then in the end, you'd be out the band.
Yeah.
So when Russ and Dave Winter, the late Dave Winter, we miss Dave.
Yeah.
What a character as well.
Always
trying to sell. You remember the fur coat and the watches underneath, and he was always trying to sell you something.
No, he never did that to me.
No, he didn't. He was kind of like, he always had something in his car boot that he wanted to sell. Fur coats. And it was him, and I believe Paul Keogh came in later as another guitarist. That was later. But Bob was playing drums, and Dave was playing piano, and you were playing guitar.
Yeah.
And then we did that first session. We didn't do that many songs with you guys because we'd already started on some.
Yeah,
but we fixed them up. We fixed them up. And then with the second session through Keith Altham, and I was telling the boys the story, Roger Daltrey's studio, and we went there, and I had this song, The Show Must Go On, with David.
Yeah.
And we went over to the Kicking Donkey, the pub, and there was a banjo on the wall.
Yeah.
And you picked it off the wall and said, "This is what's needed."
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
And I think you threw some guitar strings on it.
Yeah, when Dave was going ding, 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 ding.
It's a banjo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Baby, there's an enormous crowd of people and they're all after my blood. I wish maybe they'd tear down the walls of this theater and let me out. Let me out. Oh, I've been so blind. Yeah. I've wasted time, wasted all so much time walking on the wire. Yeah. But I won't let the show go on.
Yeah. I said, this needs a banjo. The thing is about sonically, it's a different sound, isn't it? It's like having the marimba.
Totally.
Like having
We
the
still use a
marimbas on
banjo now.
moonlighting. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so-
That's right.
I said to Roger, have you got a banjo, Roger? And he went, nah. They got one of the Kicking Donkey. So I jumped in the car
The
with him.
Kicking
and went-
Donkey is the
went
local
into the-
pub.
Got in his Aston, went down to the Kicking Donkey. When
That's right.
They got one on the wall. And I don't think hadn't had the strings changed since before the war. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he took it
I think
off
you
the
put
wall.
guitar strings on it as well.
Yeah,
You put guitar strings, and I remember you saying this is horrible to play, and it kept going out of tune.
But
But we managed to get through a take. It
helped,
sounded
didn't
wonderful.
Ding, diggy, ding,
Yeah,
diggy,
absolutely.
Diggy, 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 ding. It's George Formby.
I
It's
think if I
brilliant
remember
stuff.
rightly, you put 2 guitar strings and 2 acoustic strings on it, and that's how we got through.
I don't remember that, but I probably do.
Oh, I do remember that. Yes, so it's like clever. And you're saying I don't know what I'm doing here, but it could work.
Yeah. It's funny, wasn't it? It's brilliant.
Fantastic.
I really enjoyed that.
So it did work.
It did work, yeah.
It got to
Russ.
number 1, didn't it, Lee? Got to number 1, didn't it? Show must go on.
It sure did. It
Yeah.
sure did, and it's the song that I opened my show with because it all started there.
It's a great idea.
know?
It's like a heavy
Yeah.
George Formby, isn't it?
Well, it's like a dance number in a way
Yeah.
as well because it's got a groove, and that's the funny thing about it.
Yeah.
It's really sort of kicked,
But at
even
that
though it's
time-
vaudeville.
Yeah, but at that time, no one was doing anything like that. That was the great
No, it's
thing.
so
No one
different,
was doing it,
exactly.
And you had that Piero image as well. So no one was doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
I hit it. I mean, I hit it the same week. Funny, I'm talking to Jim Cregan the other week, but I hit it the same week as Cockney Rebel. Jim was in the Cockney Rebel
Of
with
course he
Steve
was,
Harley.
Yeah.
And we both hit the charts the same. And both of us were totally unique records.
Yeah.
You'd never heard anything like that before. And
Yeah,
and
that's
that was
right.
what was interesting.
That's Judy T. Was it Judy T?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I thought it sounded like Catch a Falling Star.
Exactly. But they were both unique songs. You couldn't compare them to anything else.
Oh, I know. No, they were happy days, mate, weren't they? Weren't they brilliant?
Wonderful. The analog days. We made everything up. We didn't have mobile phones, no internet.
Yeah.
Russ, what was your first impression of Leo as you entered the studio for the first time, or as you met Leo for the first time?
I was expecting a Charlie Chaplin kind of character. Because Adam Faith said, he said, we've got this singer, Leo, and he said, it's just like Charlie Chaplin. That's what he said, funnily enough. So I was expecting. I don't know. I think it's probably your movements and the way you were moving and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I was very jerky
Charlie Chaplin, you know. So maybe that was it. But when he started to sing and hearing the lyrics, and Dave Courtney was saying, you know, now I do the tunes. They were good. They were different, weren't they? Because at that time, you got enough tunes for an album for Roger. At that time,
that's right. That's right. Well, he asked.
I'd like to do that.
He asked us for an album after he'd heard the songs, and
you know,
So we were very prolific. Yeah.
Very prolific, you know. So I thought it was different. It had a different sort of vibe. And then the image of the Piero, like a clown, was brilliant. A brilliant idea. That came. I tell you, I was chatting to it was Roger Daltrey's cousin, Graham Hughes. Graham Hughes. He did the picture, and apparently it was Graham came up with that idea. He said he's like a clown, isn't he? He's like a clown.
Well, not completely.
That's what he said.
No, but it wasn't. Yeah, it's not completely right. Because I loved a movie called Les Enfants de Paradis, a French film, where there was a Piero in the film. And when I went to meet Graham, because Roger suggested, go and see my cousin, and because he's great. He did my album, because he did the Daughtry album cover, and he said, go and see him. So I went to see him, and he'd just done. I went in the studio, and there's Graham, and I said, hello, and he'd just done a shoot for Vogue magazine, where he'd used this girl called Little Nell from the Rocky Horror Show, an actress, crazy actress. And he had a Piero in the background, as well on this shoot with two or three models. And he was putting, you know, like photographers always, though, they took their rough prints once they printed them and everything, you know, they put them up on the wall, stick them up with the clothes pegs. Yeah, exactly. With the clothes pegs, exactly. Yeah. So they were all up there, and as he's talking to me, he's putting them up, and he said, "So how'd you see yourself then?" And I said, "Like that." And I pointed to the Piero. There was a guy called Julien. It was a Belgian street clown. And he said, well, that's good because Julien's coming tomorrow. Without batting an eyelid, he said, he's coming in tomorrow. Why don't you put on his costume and we'll take some photographs? And I went, okay. And that was it. So, I mean, he did push the idea, but the concept, I think, was already there in my head. Yeah. But, I mean, I love this guy because I love in the movie that I love, this guy called Jean-Louis Barrault, this actor, didn't say a word during the whole movie. And all he did was he spoke with his hands. Very French. And I thought, how brilliant to go on stage and not say a word, because I was a huge fan of Dylan and people like that. And Dylan, of course, Bob Dylan would never say a word. He just did the songs. And he'd frustrate the audience by never showing his personality. So I thought, well, maybe I could do that, but in a different way with a mask. And I thought, and that was my fantasy, but I thought it was only a fantasy. It's never going to happen. But when I spoke to Graham and I looked at that picture, I said, I think we can do this. And he said, go for it. So it was wonderful. When we did the photo shoot the next day and they put the costume on me and this girl, Kirsty Clymer, did the makeup and everything like that, they wouldn't let me in front of a mirror. So I couldn't see what they were doing. It's so frustrating. And then I turned around the corner and I walked in front of this massive mirror that they had. The whole wall was a mirror. And I looked at myself and I went, yes, that was it. Yeah. And I remember we phoned Adam and we said, you've got to come down here now. He was at the RAC club or something. And we made him kind of jump in his car. Yeah, we made him jump in his car and come down. And I stood there. As he walked in, he went, oh, my God. He said, that's it. And we all knew it was it by that time, you know. And he's just said, he said, I agree. And that was it. So, but I think, you know, that was the real story anyway. That's what happened. And I felt very comfortable in it because this was my my screen hero anyway. And I was just emulating. You know? And I was so, as you probably remember at that time, I mean, even though I was eccentric and bags of adrenaline going through me, I didn't have much confidence. So this allowed
but
me to get my confidence underneath this mask, you know.
Yeah. Maybe your personality, your extrovert sort of personality
Was allowed to flourish
was
under
allowed
that.
to flourish, because
There you go.
I always thought you were like that anyway. You know, when we were in the studio,
Yeah.
stuff, you were very animated and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah,
So,
I think I had confidence when I was singing, but you know, the rest of the time is, what do you do with this? You know,
yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
all young artists are like that, aren't they? You know, you can imagine.
Yeah.
We
I
all
first
are
came
when we
to-
start off.
I first came to see you at the Speakeasy when you. I think.
Yeah,
I think it was the band. It was Patches, wasn't it? It was the band.
yeah. That's right. That's right.
You were singing, and Frank Farrell was in the band and stuff. I
That's
came
right,
with
yeah.
Alan Freeman. I came with Fluff.
Yeah, my God.
But Alan Freeman,
Not
the
off.
DJ.
Not off.
Not off. There's
Not
a very
off,
funny
not off.
story with Adam and Patches and
Yeah.
Alan Freeman, because we made the first single with Patches before I met you, Russ.
Yeah.
With the band Patches, we made a single and it was on Warner Brothers. Didn't sell anything, but Adam said, right, we were in Olympic Studios, made the record, and he said, right, he said, follow me one day. I think it was about the second day I'd met him. First day I met him, he introduced me to Paul McCartney. He might be able to give you some advice. I mean, it was all scary stuff, really. You know, but, so that's only the second day. You know, the third day, he says, right, we're going to the BBC. I said, well, yeah. He said, just follow me. He said, keep close, don't fall behind. And we go to the door, and there's all these doormen. You know, I mean, you couldn't do this now.
No.
There were all these guys, you know, that wouldn't let you anywhere past. And he said, oh, right you are, Mr. Faith. He said, out of my way, I'm going up to see Alan Freeman. Well, Alan Freeman is live on air doing the charts show, the biggest show on Radio 1 and Radio 2, the biggest show in England. And he's about number 37 in the charts when Adam burst through the door with the red light on and Leo Sayer, embarrassed, behind him in tow. And he said, take that rubbish off and put this on. That's your big hit.
That sounds like him. Yeah.
That is like him. And he did it. And Adam and Fluff, Alan Freeman played the record and said, well, that's very interesting. Okay, thank you, Adam. We've seen a glimpse of the future there. And he said, meanwhile, let's get back to the charts. And off we went. So that was the first time I was on the radio. How about that?
He was funny. He was.
Susie,
He had such
another similarity for you chaps that we're just gonna come up with, and this is the period when Leo, we were talking earlier about the period when he went out to LA and was with these fabulous musicians, and played with all sorts of people, some of which I'm going to name in a moment. But of course, Russ made an album called At the Third Stroke, which had a lot of and I did a little bit of research and actually saw these are the names that played on both those out, or played with Leo, but also played with Russ on At the Third Stroke. Jeff Porcaro, David Hungate, Leyland Schuyler, David Page, and Tom Scott of Johnny Mitchell LA Express fame. They both played with both of you, probably not around the same time.
Yeah, I think we're the same band. I think actually.
Roughly, yeah.
Amazing.
Dave Hungate was the first bass player in Toto. You know, with Jeff.
He was the original. Yeah. He was
and Tom was the go-to sax player that everybody wanted on the record, you know, even more than David Sanborn at that time.
We flew to San Francisco to put him on because he was in San Francisco. So Keith Olsen,
that's right,
who produced my album at the time, we flew to San Francisco, and happy days.
And there's a great album At the Third Stroke. I think is a great album. Sven, that's one of your favorites.
Third Stroke is, I would say, my favorite album.
Cast Your Spirit and all those on it. But,
the lyrics.
Those first couple when you dance to the vocal on him, the way you start with I'm the dancer.
She took me to heaven. She took me to hell. When she went to paradise, she took me as well. She didn't have wings, I swear she could fly. she could steal your heart away. Man, that's no lie. She was the dancer. Some say she was a witch, some say she was a bird. I say she captured me without a word. She'd take a sad song, she'd make you cry. She could take away your soul, need no alibi. She was the dancer.
Oh,
There's,
yeah.
there's so many great songs on it, and I can't say what was my favorite song on the album. The whole album is brilliant, but talking about similarities between the two of you guys is so funny. I need to go. I need to go back to the disco era because I really want to talk about it. We've spoken about disco sounds by the end of the 70s, and there's one song, Russ, you wrote it, and it doesn't sound like Russ Ballard. It's the only song I would say it's not sounding.
We're talking
like
about this
Russ
before,
Ballard.
Sven. Yeah.
Like a Russ Ballard song. It's Rosalind Woods. What you gonna do about it?
Oh, no.
Do you remember this one? It's 1978, I think. 77 or 78. It's a superb disco sound. What you gonna do about it?
Oh, yeah. Is that
It makes you feel like dancing. Or is that sort of track?
No, no. It was what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
What
That's
you gonna
it.
do about it? What you gonna do about it?
What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? Tell me. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it?
That was the song, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is that? I couldn't remember what her name was when you said Rose.
Rosalind Woods.
Yeah, where they did get in that got in the disco chart. but it was very, very simple. That song took about 15 minutes.
That's like my songs with Albert Hammond. Those first ones. We were talking about Easy to Love and all of those.
Yeah.
You know,
They're the best, Lee,
they were
you?
done in 5 minutes. You know,
They're the best. I think you're not.
They are the best, aren't they?
And it's like just the mindset. It's just like you know, bang, you're out. 5 minutes.
I've got a couple of very successful songs which I never wrote a lyric down for. And they just came out. Orchard Road just came out as a stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
And Long Tall Glasses was the same, you know.
Yeah.
And you can't pin them down, you know. It's you don't know where it comes from. It's like those old blues guys used to say, you know, sort of, it's the hand of God, you know, sort of comes down.
You know,
Booker White used to call them. He used to call them sky songs. He said, "Why do you call them sky songs?" He said, "Because they come out of the sky, you know." So he didn't create them; they just bounce out, you know.
No, no, I agree. Yeah, they come from somewhere. Sometimes you think, you know, where did that come from? Or you say later, when you listen to them, sort of years later, you say, "That's exactly how I was thinking."
Exactly.
How I was thinking. You know, sometimes you think it's a little tune, then you look at the lyrics and stuff, and people say to me, on certain things, especially I don't believe in miracles. People always pick that one up. I don't believe in miracles that Colin Blunstone did. Everybody says, you know,
it's a fabulous song.
When I wrote it, I didn't realize that I was writing so much about myself. I believe that someone bullet that shot me down and all that kind of stuff. I had no idea.
And I believe that somewhere there's someone who's gonna light the way when things go wrong. The bullet that shot me down was wrong. You're gone. The words that turn me round were from your song. But I don't believe in miracles. I don't believe in miracles. My God, you might show your face or have the grace to tell me where you are. Tell me where you are. But I don't believe in miracles. I don't believe in miracles. My God, you might show your face or have the grace to tell me where you are. Tell me where you are. I don't believe in miracles. I don't believe in miracles. But I thought you might show your face or have the grace to tell me where you are.
Yeah,
You know, that's
it's
the
unconscious. Yeah, it's unconscious and subconscious. Yeah,
great thing about writing, Lee, isn't it?
A lot of
revealing.
your songs.
It's very revealing.
A lot of your songs in that period, Russ. You told me that you started off almost as soul songs because you were a big Tamla fan back in the day, and they became rock songs because people did a different arrangement, or you did a different arrangement.
Well, since you've been gone, that basically was a I was trying to do a Tamla kind of thing, to be honest. You know,
since you've been gone, I could see that working. Yeah.
So, could you imagine Leo singing "So You Win Again" or something like that? Leo's voice, you know.
I love "So You Win Again." "So You Win Again" is a hell of a song, Russ.
I took that to CBS because I thought that was a single for myself because I was still signed to CBS. Right. I took it to a certain guy. He won't like this, me saying that. I'm not going to mention his name.
There's a lot of deaf ones there.
Yeah, I said to him, I mean, I'm going back to 1977. So he said, you know, that song is good. That song is cool. Yeah, it's good, but it's not for you. That's for soul. That's for soul. So that's for a soul singer. So I thought to myself, well, if the head of the record company doesn't see it, then it's pointless, you know. So I gave it to Ireland at the time, and then I tell you, 3 weeks later, it was recorded by Hot Chocolate, and that was
that's right. Yeah,
3 weeks later.
Amazing.
And that was Mickey Mouse.
Just
I'm not proud to say I let love slip away. Now I'm the one who's crying. I'm the fool, there's no denying. When will my heart again? Will my whole life depend on fading memories? You took the game this time with ease. So you win again, you win again. Here I stand again, the loser. And just for fun, you took my love and run. But love had just begun. I can't refuse her, but now I know that I'm the fool who won your love, to lose it all when you come back. You win again. When will my heart again? Will my whole life depend on fading memories? You took the game this time with ease. So you win again, you win again. Here I stand again, the loser. And just for fun, you took my love and run. But love had just begun. I can't refuse her, and now I know that I'm the fool who won your love, to lose it all when you come back. You win again.
Mickey Most heard it straight away and did
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and straight. Mickey was a great hit.
They
He
say-
knew a hit every time.
They say he
Great ears.
had golden ears, and they say that
Yeah,
too.
golden ears.
The other
Totally.
one had silver ears. The other guy from there was another A&R man had silver ears. I can't think of who's the guy you used to have.
Well, you just mentioned Muff Winwood, and of course I know Steve very well, his brother.
Yeah, I know Steve,
We've
yeah.
always been friends for years, you know.
Yeah, I know Steve.
And he's a lovely cat.
Yeah.
But I just made an album which the boys were talking about they love, called Selfie. And it was my first album trying to do everything myself. Just about every single song was rejected by Muff Winwood.
Really?
When I got pushed towards getting a deal at CBS Sony, and Muff was the man there. I don't know why that. So every single song was a rejection at the time. But since then, you know, when I recorded it, suddenly everybody said, "Wow, love that song! Wow,
Yeah.
I mean, okay, it's not been a hit album really, but at the same time, the reaction to the songs has been incredible, you know.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can't tell at the time that you do something what it's going to be, or else somebody else can't see it. But sometimes you can come back to it and it becomes sheer gold.
I
So
tell you
there is
what,
that element as well.
Yeah, it does happen, doesn't it? You know.
it's all about timing. The similarities between the two of you, they don't end here. We do have tons of more similarities. So apart from this disco era, Daltrey effect, and all about timing. The two of you were working with Roger Daltrey, and really funny thing is Russ wrote a song in the 80s for Daltrey, Hearts on Fire.
That's right.
Which is the number one, is the favorite Roger Daltrey song of my wife. Yasmin loves Hearts on Fire. The first time she heard it on the radio, she said to me, "Is it possible that this is a Russ Ballard song?" I said, "Yes, of course, Russ wrote the song. It sounds like It's a Russ Ballard tune, that's it. And it's fantastic. It wasn't such a big hit back in the 80s, but it's played on the radio here in Germany, I don't know, 20 times a week. It's
Really?
amazing.
Yeah.
Hearts on Fire, great song.
He was the son of 64.
Yeah.
Was that on one of the Daughtry albums that Dave produced?
No.
No.
I too produced it. It was the keyboard player that came from St Albans.
Alan Shacklock.
Alan Shacklock. He came from.
Oh yeah, Alan,
He was the producer.
He was in Babe Ruth.
That's right. Yeah.
In fact, I toured with him, with Roger. We toured with Roger just on the East Coast in 19.
It's a good player.
85.
In 1985. And only did the East Coast, but it was a really good band. We had John somebody played for Hall and Oates, bass player for Hall and Oates. We had Stuart Elliott on drums.
Oh, Stu's a lovely player.
He's a great player. We had
again Cockney Rebel.
Cockney Rebel, yeah. So, and we had on slide we had Clem Clemson.
Clem Clemson, yeah, I've done some sessions with him. He's a great player.
Clem played slide. He wasn't in the original band, but the other, I can't remember the name of the other guy. There's another guitar player there, Roger. He was gone the first day we had a rehearsal, and there was this other guitar player there. I got on really well with him, but Roger sacked him straight away. But I thought he was actually, sacked him, and Clem was in. So that was a nice band. We did.
Clem's a lovely fella.
Oh, it's lovely
cat.
Lovely.
It's a sweetheart. Yeah,
Lovely
got
kid.
great entertainment to be with. Funny boy.
Yeah, he was brilliant. Yeah, I first saw him 17. He was playing in the John Heisman Coliseum. We did a festival together.
That's right. I remember it. Well,
John Heisman. Yeah. He was 17.
Well,
then.
Jimmy Litherland was my Jimmy Litherland.
I remember
who played
Jimmy.
in that band.
I think we found Jimmy for you, Bob and me.
That's right. You did. Yeah. I think you found him. Yeah. And he was brilliant. And Jimmy brought a whole band with him that was my band for 3 years, I think,
Yeah,
we went everywhere together. Great band.
Yeah, it was good, really good band, really good band.
Yeah. Small world. It's always we've all had a lot of the same.
It's better than Berkeley, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. But the interesting thing is we've seen, in all of the things we're talking about here, we've seen so many changes, and it's almost like 4 seasons of a record industry, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we've seen the good times, we've seen the odd times. I mean, at the moment when we both wrote a disco song or some disco song was maybe something where we were just trying to catch up with what was the zeitgeist of the time, which I think you had to do. And the amazing thing is that I do believe now we've come absolutely full circle where, I mean, in my concerts, I know I get young kids coming now who absolutely adore the music of our time, being that the end of the 60s and the 70s.
Yeah.
And they live for that, even more than the trendy 80s and 90s. So they have taken that on, and they just love this time and everything about it. I mean, I did a gig the other day in Sydney here in George Street, which is the main street. They closed the whole street, and it was called a long lunch. And the guy here has got a club called the Ivy, and he's very hip. He's very powerful. Yeah. And he's a big mover and shaker, runs hotels and everything.
Yeah.
And he booked me in the disco thing with and I'm in with a couple of other young bands.
Yeah.
And they had these guys on stage with me, kind of weren't really good guitar. I mean, I had a backing track, but they were still trying to play along. And they're all wearing bell bottoms. And I had a moment when I suddenly looked around and I thought, oh my God, it's a little bit like we're frozen in time.
Yeah.
Because all they want to do is live in that time that is your and my time. Incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I remember when just before your time, Lee, I remember pegging my jeans when I was 12 years old, pegging my jeans. So they were 11s. I could just squeeze them on, And I pegged them. I sewed them so they were so tight. We called them drain pipes, didn't we? We used to call them drain pipes.
That's right.
My dad saw me walking with these, and they were black and white stripes. Black and white stripes, these jeans.
And boots from Denson's.
Yes, yeah.
In Leicester,
right.
yes.
Yeah.
Beetle boots and things like that,
And my dad said to me, God, blimey. He said, my dad used to wear them like that. He said, oh, it was hilarious.
Oh my God.
I thought he was going to say you're not going out. You're not going out wearing those or something like that.
No. He, would never, he couldn't stop me if I wanted to go out. I would do it. That's how I was. But
We were irrepressible. I was the same. I mean, I ran away from home when I was 16 because my dad was such just absolutely murderous, And when I came back, I'd grown my hair, and he was so disgusted with me. He made me sleep in the greenhouse for 3 days in the winter.
And
my mum would bring me blankets.
That made it grow even more in the greenhouse.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
exactly. My mum brought me the blankets, But somehow you survive, What can we say?
Yeah.
It's all part of the history.
We're mindful of your time, and unless it's something else,
No problem.
we don't want to stop you guys talking. But it's been an absolute for Sven and I just to sort of sit and listen to you two talking, and it's just been absolutely amazing. Two fantastic songwriters. I'm looking at the background of Leo. There's more silver discs there than you can shake a stick at. And if you go in Russ's studio, there's more silver discs there, gold discs than you can shake a stick at. There's so many similarities for you two, and it's been lovely to see you two get to, and I wonder if next year that maybe getting together could happen. That would
Let's do it. Let's do it. Absolutely.
Well,
That would be amazing.
In 1976, and it didn't happen. So, I mean, we should do it.
Yeah,
we should do it.
It's time.
That would be great.
And you can see. I mean, lovely thing is talking to Russ. I mean, we're both talkaholics, and it would be brilliant to get together. I think there'll be some. Just like there's some chemistry now. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful to see you again, man. You're just a wonderful person.
Yeah, we always got on well.
Yeah,
didn't we?
Saturday, then we book a flight.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, our test was making the album it turned out to be about 10 days. And, we never had an argument, a disagreement. We just went straight for it.
It flowed, didn't it? It flowed.
It flowed, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, Adam wasn't even there most of the time. He left us alone to get on with it,
I remember when Moonlighting had been a big hit. I think it got to number got to number 2 in the chart.
Number 2, yeah.
It got to number
only
2.
got beaten by ABBA.
I remember going into the bathroom there, sort of, and with Tell, and he said, I never wanted to do that song, that Moonlighting. I said, but it was an obvious hit, Tell. The song was an obvious hit. He went, yeah, I know now. It's obvious.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think what happens with some of these songs, until you actually play them, you never know what you got. And that's been so much in my life. You get a sketchy idea and you think, God, will this work? And it actually might be a really good, fully fleshed out song, but you're confident. You're so close to it.
Too close to it. Yeah.
You can't see it. You can't see it. But something happens when suddenly the guitarist picks up the riff and everybody's playing the chorus, and you go, hey, this works. It's incredible. So you often don't know. The proof is in the pudding, always with recording.
There are no rules.
Making records is the great skill. Yeah.
No rules.
And you've both done it amazingly.
Anyway, mate, fantastic talking to you. And you, so always good to have you in my life, Russell.
Yeah, and you in mine. Yeah. Great days.
Great days, man.
We'll try and
do it again next year.
Yeah, it'd be
absolutely.
That'd be great.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we will do it. We will do it. It'd be great. I wanted to do it in 1976, actually, to be honest. Very difficult to do it when you're on the road, though. I always found it difficult.
No, I understand that.
You do it in 2023.
We look forward to it. We look forward.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
We're still young.
Thank you for your time, Russell.
Thanks, Russ, for joining us.
Oh, it's brilliant. Lovely.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, mate. God bless you. Bye.
Yes.
God bless you. Cheers, mate. Great talking to Russ again.
It was.
He's a wonderful man.
Oh, it's 12 o'clock on the old grey wall. Yet another year, 75 is here. I hear all the people celebrating another year. Oh, darkness, darkness, inside my head. I'm on my own again. That's what I think I said. This place is just a one-horse town. So let the rain fall down. Year and year again, I've been sitting here reflecting how nothing's changed. But am I still the same? People blow up all around me, yet I remain. Nothing's changed. Another day begins, the same old, same again. It's like some movie scene, not all frame by frame. I'll try to figure out what it means some other day. Now my diary is looking back at me. Oh, it's another year. 76 is here. I'm watching all the people celebrating another year. It's another year. Another year.
Hi, this is Russ Ballard, and you're listening to the Voices of Russ Ballard podcast.